Marjorie Price from Price Management Consultancy, and I'm a leadership and management trainer and a senior executive business coach. So I'm here today to talk about Black Inclusion Week, Together in Action. It just keeps the importance of Black inclusion at the top of our agenda and inclusivity and at the forefront of everyone's mind, and just keeps a focus on and a commitment to society. I have always been into training. I'm also a lecturer, so I'm a qualified teacher of higher education. And whilst on my working journey, I specialised in leadership and management training and also inclusivity and equality and diversity, sort of give it a bigger picture. So what I found was that the common theme was really that managers weren't quite managing with enough emotional intelligence. And for me, that was the real hook and the real key in terms of how managers and leaders manage relationships with their staff. So that started my journey in terms of I wanted to fix that. I wanted to be a part of change because I saw it as really being very important. So after many years of lecturing and working as a consultant for others, I decided to take the leap and set up by myself, and I've really never looked back. And it's been interesting. The journey has been up and down, as you can imagine, but it's been something that I've enjoyed, and it's very, very, very rewarding. To be honest, a fair society really means that we wouldn't need Black Inclusion Week. We wouldn't have to focus on it. It'll be embedded into society and just the way we do business. So in terms of success, what I would say personally is around the fact that I've even taken the plunge as a Black woman to actually take the plunge to open a business, because one of the narratives being a Black person is that it's going to be difficult to be successful because you're Black, so you have to work twice as hard. And often what happens, we don't take the plunge because we believe that, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what I thought about it, and it was in the back of my mind, but at the end of the day, I just pushed it to the back of my mind and just did it anyway. And I really haven't looked back. And I don't let colour define me. I move beyond that. And it's me, and it's about the relationships I build with others. And I see that my success as successfully have done that and not let any of the narratives hold me back as a barrier. So I've moved forward. So so that's what I would say in terms of success about being a Black business owner. And I would encourage anyone else to do the same. So don't let your culture, your colour define who you are. You know who you are and you know what you've got to offer. So just move forward and move past it anyway. By starting with education. So I think an inclusive education curriculum is the starting point. So it starts from school. So as children are growing up, there isn't the need for a Black History Month. So 1 month in a year, there's a focus on Black history, but there's no reason why it cannot be embedded into the education system from the beginning, from books to stories to Black history, entrepreneurs, inventors, scientists, etc. It can be all done right from the beginning. I think what will happen is children will grow up and it will feel inclusive. And I think there have been encouragement for Black young children to feel that there aren't any barriers and that they can do what they want to do right from the offset. But I think there is this, when you're at school, there is a divide and there's like Black history. And then as you grow up, you come to a realization that you're actually Black. And I know that sounds strange, but there is a realization, because up to a certain age, there is no barriers. You play with your friends, it's not a big thing. And as you start to grow up, you start to feel the barriers. And not having it embedded in the education system and being singled out, it makes it you're more acutely aware And then that starts to build those barriers in your mind. So the role I believe that I can make to a change in society in relation to being black, it's being a role model and a mentor to women in business, but also to young women in business, black women obviously particularly, but also to young people, because I actively encourage young people, black people, to open their own businesses, because there's no reason why they shouldn't. They've got skills, they've got abilities, and it's a case of not fighting against the status quo, constantly going for jobs and not knowing if you're not successful with those jobs because of the colour of your skin. So if you have a skill that you can use to bring income for yourself and make a huge change to society, I think you should do that. So that's where I feel that my role is as a mentor and a support for others. It has been a real part of my journey. So I had the skills in leadership and management, and I wanted to run a business, and that's quite different. So I needed to upskill myself. So I went to my local library and I joined a program for business support, which was fantastic. And that really, I can honestly say that's why I'm here where I am now. Gave me the confidence to do what I do and the knowledge to do what I do. So from there, I then was asked if I would like to be a business ambassador for the Business Intellectual Property Centre in Waltham Forest, which is located in Leytonstone Library, which I did. And part of my role is to support the BIPC with sort of bridging the gap between local businesses and what their needs might be. So as I am a local business, speaking to local business people and then being able to translate that information to the BIPC so that a better offer is there for local businesses. So I think collaboration is extremely important. And if there's an opportunity that you get to collaborate, I would strongly suggest that you do that. So my encouragement to upcoming black entrepreneurs is just to go for it. Don't let your heritage, don't let your colour, don't let any negative things that have been spoken over you, don't let any of the negative connotations and things that you hear put you off. You have a skill, you have an ability, go for it. Don't let it hold you back. And just focus on what you want to achieve in your business, who your clients are and how you want to help them, and go for it, because you will make a difference to society. One thing I would say about running a business to anyone, but particularly people of colour, is what you're passionate about, let that be your driver. Because if it's not your driver, if you're just thinking of making money, business is hard. So during the hard time, boring times, when you're chasing contracts, you're chasing clients, if you don't have a passion for what you do, you won't be able to sustain it. You really won't, because there are going to come times when you're quite lonely, because being a business individual can be lonely at times and hard. So when it's lonely and it's hard, if you're not passionate about what you do, you'll stop doing it. Because if you just want to make money, there's lots of different ways of making money. You will literally stop doing it. So I would say your passion will keep you driven during the hard times. So thinking about my journey and just thinking about how I would have done it differently, and also what I've learned, what I would say the biggest thing is no fear. So right at the beginning, I knew my stuff, I knew what I wanted to do, but I was fearful. It wasn't really fearful because of my colour, because I didn't let that stop me. It was really fearful of, can I run a business? Can I do this? And especially when you're on your own, I think if I was in a partnership, that would have been different, because I'd have been able to bounce it off with somebody else. But as I wasn't, I was on my own, and I knew I had to do it on my own, but the passion was there for what I wanted to do, and I really wanted to make a change. So I took the leap and took the first step and moved forward. So what I would say to anyone, you will have fear. Don't let it paralyze you. Don't procrastinate. Just move forward, because you have something to share with the world. You have a story. You have a product. You have a service that others need. And once you're passionate, you will be successful in your business. And it's not always about becoming a multimillionaire. It's not all about that. Yes, that would be lovely along the way. And that's why I said earlier, not to think about the money. If you think about the money and how much you're going to make and what it looks like, you won't move forward. So what I would say is just not be afraid, jump in with both feet, get as much support as you can, and just go for it. So for me, the theme, Together in Action, what that means to me is about moving forward, but moving forward as one and not being fragmented, being supportive of each other. And I think it's a little old cliche, but I'm going to say it anyway. So together we stand and divided we fall.